What's up, YouTube? This is Barn on 11970, and as usual, I thank you guys for watching my video, and hope you guys are enjoying this lovely clear sky outside, and I mean that very sarcastically. And if you live on the East Coast of the United States of America Corporation, you will understand what I mean. All right, with that being said, guys, it's come to my attention that Bitcoin already has rivals out there, and I'm going to show you guys how these kind of currencies are just really they have a good idea behind them, but they're not really going to work the way you believe they are going to. Because, for example, currently right now, and I will give people credit as far as money-wise, Bitcoins are over $70 again. But here's the thing. So one of my subscribers gave me a link, or they just mentioned it, and I checked it out just to verify. There is another site, I don't know if there's more, but there's at least one more site, where they're starting their own digital currency called Litecoin. And I'll put the link to the website address down below, where, from my understanding, from what I can understand of the program, it's an easier mining program. I was told that it's under $1 per coin. It's just starting out, and they're actually going to produce more of the coins than Bitcoin. So just think of it this way. If a person's just thinking about, all right, I'm going to get into this digital currency, which, to be honest, I don't really recommend you spending tremendous amounts of money buying these things. But if they're going to see, for example, Bitcoins, which is going to be basically the grandfather of the digital currency, people are going to say, all right, right now it's going to cost me at least about $75 to $80 to be able to buy one Bitcoin. Now, actually, if you go on eBay, it's even higher. People are spending up to $95 and up for one Bitcoin. So all of a sudden, other programs start coming out that will still claim the same protections, the same everything as Bitcoin, only it's cheaper and faster and more technologically advanced, blah, blah, blah. And somebody says, okay, I have the Bitcoins here, where it's about between $80 and $90 per coin, or I can go on an alternative one that's just starting out, which will do all the same things as Bitcoins, but I'll get them for under $1 a coin. Who do you think is going to go to the which? And I'll tell you something, as soon as people start hearing there's alternative currencies, and they start working, and people start making money, people are going to start leaving Bitcoin and going to all these other alternative currencies, which ultimately will destroy them all in the end. Now, this is what we need to learn about this, and this is why we do need regulation as far as money's concerned, but not the way it's currently working. Like, I'll give you a prime example. The dollar itself is a good concept if we didn't have a corrupt government and a greedy banking system behind it. Because when a dollar is backed by 100% gold, they can't just print it out of thin air and be fiscally irresponsible. So the idea of having a paper currency where it's convenient to carry because you can't carry bags of gold because it's just not a smart thing to do and it's not exactly convenient, paper currency does have its place in this society. But the problem is, since 1971, all the currencies throughout the world have been backed by nothing, which means they can just print it at any time they want, devaluing the currency, which raises all the prices, or at least gives an illusion of raising prices. It just means you need more of that currency to purchase. Well, if we went back to a fiscally sound system where for every dollar created, there had to be, for example, 10 ounces of, a tenth of an ounce of gold, for example, or whatever amount. In other words, a 1-to-1 ratio. And then we eliminate things like fractional reserves. If you don't know what fractional reserve is, every time, for example, you borrow, let's say, $1,000 from the bank, or pay a credit card bill, for example, they can create up to 9 times the amount that you deposit or borrow in thin air, in invisible money that they can turn around and loan to someone else with interest that you have to pay back. So if we could get a honorable system behind the currencies throughout the world, the dollar could work. The problem is, with nothing backing it up, it's fiscally irresponsible. Now, the digital coins, the digital concept, is a great idea, but still in a corrupt system. Now, this is where it's ultimately going to fail. Because as we already see, like this other site, and I'm sure there are others, so if anybody wants to mention them, please, you can place it in the comments section, is it's going to be exactly how when, after the Revolutionary War, state to state, colony to colony, were creating their own currencies, and sometimes within individual towns in those states. So depending on where you were in the country, you would need a different form of payment to be able to buy things, which made it very inconvenient. And that's why the United States, before it became a corporation, actually had their own money system that was regulated by the government, which was backed by gold. And what it did was it made one currency that was available anywhere in the country, instead of going, okay, I have to work in this town, in this state, and I have to travel to this area. I need a different currency every time. So what we're seeing, what's about to happen with the Bitcoins and all these digital currencies is we're going to get a lot of greedy people out there saying, I can make some fast money on this digital currency, so I'm going to ride this wave before it crashes in. But these things are going to crash in. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say you can't make money. Obviously, if you bought Bitcoins at $20 per coin, and you're selling them now for $85, $90 per coin, you are going to make money. So if your only goal is to make tons of money, regardless of who you screw over or what causes of damage it does, then you're in it for the wrong reasons. So people misinterpret things that I say all the time. I have no problem with people making money. But for example, if you were to get $1 million for killing your own mother, would you do it? I mean, there has to come a point, it's like, what line do I not cross just to make lots of money? So you can make lots of money selling drugs. You can make lots of money murdering people. It should not be about the fact of, well, as long as I make money, everything else is second. You shouldn't think that way, and that's what I mean. So as far as the Bitcoins are concerned, I know there are some people that are so emotionally involved in it, and I don't understand that, considering this is something less than not even a decade old, and some people are acting like this is some godsend sent from the creator himself or herself, whatever you want to believe. You can't be that much in love with something unless you're one of these people that doesn't care who you hurt, doesn't care who you step on, doesn't matter the consequences down the line. As long as you make your bottom line, you really need to reprioritize. So I'm going to understand that there are going to be people out there that are going to be mad at me because I am talking truth and I am actually putting it in your face of what the reality of this is. I'm sorry if that ruins your illusionary world of diving into a thing of money and living happily ever after. If you're going to destroy the nation to make yourself wealthy, then you're part of the problem. I mean, look, for example, the corporations. Look how they ship jobs overseas so they can pay less money to people who are willing to take less to be able to just be thankful they get a job. And look what it does to our economy. So if we don't think these things don't affect us, you're sadly mistaken, because every time you go to the pump, every time you go to the grocery store, every time you see your electric bill, you're reminded every day of what's happening as far as the value of your currency. So hate this if you want, appreciate it if you're really looking to try and change the system, and realize things like Bitcoins and digital currencies are a nice little fad, but it's going to go the way of the dodo. It's just a matter of time. It may last a year, it may last 5 years, but it's definitely not going to last forever. If you want real financial responsibility, fiscal responsibility, physical gold and silver, as of now, backing up a dollar or whatever currency, will be able to make people responsible, because they cannot print more than what is backed up. So it's not the money that's the problem. Just as much as a gun isn't a problem, it's the person who wields it. Okay, guys? Thanks for watching. Peace.